Now, the country's fastest growing minority group comes under the spotlight this month as the Mixed Race Britain season comes to BBC Two. Here in the UK, we have the largest mixed race population anywhere in the Western world. And yet only a decade ago, mixed heritage people weren't even legally recognised as a separate ethnic group by the national census. So how much do we really know about the lives and experiences of mixed race people growing up in Britain today? Well, I'm joined on the line now by a Nottingham woman who feels so strongly about the way mixed race people are treated that she's done something about it. Alexandra Simon, welcome to BBC Radio
Thank you very
Nottingham.
much.
Now, before we talk about what it is exactly that you're doing, tell us a bit about your family background.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I was born and bred in the UK, in Nottingham, in an area called Top Valley. I'm mixed race, white, black Caribbean. My mum is British Irish and my dad is Grenadian.
Now, from a young age, you felt quite strongly about mixed race people and the way they were all too often being spoken about rather than being given the chance to speak for themselves.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I work for an organisation called Mixed, which is a social enterprise that was founded by a gentleman called Bradley Lincoln. And the way I got into that organisation is basically I attended a conference, and the conference was being conducted by a certain politician, and the subject of the conference was, the mixed race population. And at this conference, mixed race people were spoken about in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. I was told that they were underachieving. I was told that we were sleepwalking into segregation. Mixed race people didn't know what category they should fit into. And this is sort of a common theme with many people's views on mixed race people. I mean, at the conference, I was constantly putting my hand up and saying, I'm not underachieving, and, I don't feel that I have to choose one side of my identity. I feel that I am whole. Despite being mixed race, I'm not mono heritage, but I'm happy in my skin. After the conference, I was approached by someone from Mixed, a lady called Denise Williams, and was invited to join the organisation. And, we've done so many fantastic things through this organisation for mixed race people. And one of the things is obviously the Mixed Face fashion show.
In fact, which we'll talk about in just a moment, something you're doing, which is quite different, the first of its kind, a UK modelling contest exclusively for mixed race people. Now, we'll speak about that in just a moment, but first, you touched on something there that, in fact, is something that, for myself as a mixed person, is something that I find crops up quite a lot, in that people seem quite scared to even say the words mixed race. It's kind of an issue that people fear a little bit, I think. Do you think that's still something that in the year 2011 people are still a little bit scared of, even just the terms of calling somebody a mixed race person?
Yes, definitely. Through the Mixed Project, I've been involved in many youth conferences, parents' conferences and teacher training. And this is a common theme. Terminology is, a massive thing, or a massive issue at the moment, because there are so many terms for a mixed race person. Dual heritage, multiple heritage. Some people still use the term half caste and mulatto, and obviously mixed race. What Mixed has done is put young people at the heart of these discussions. Obviously, the majority of mixed race people in the UK are actually under 16, so we think, why not ask these people what they want to be called? And the common theme that we've received from that is that the young mixed race people are comfortable with this term mixed race. But it means that we do need to talk about it. We do need to put it out in the open and not have it as one of those things, one of those topics that people really feel uncomfortable in talking about. And, that's what Mix is about. Mix is about laying everything on the table, being really open, not over-celebrating being mixed race, but not victimising, just making a contribution, to a positive discussion.
One of the things you hear that's cropped up all the time when anything about mixed race is being talked about is an idea of identity, and particularly that people are confused about where they fit in if they happen to be of a mixed background. Is that something that you found is true from the young people that you've spoken to?
Yes, from some of the young people that I've spoken to, there is this sort of challenge of not being white enough to be white, or black enough to be black, or Asian enough to be Asian. And, these are some of the challenges that the young people in this population do face. And it's not just through faults of their own or the parents. It's one of those things that, just happen through society. In the fashion industry, often mixed race people are forced into a category. So if you're darker skinned, then you should be black. If you're lighter skinned, then you should be white, and it's about embracing all of your identities, all of your cultures. So you do feel, you do feel like a person, not just half of you. You are a whole person. You are all of your mother and you are all of your father.
As I mentioned a little earlier, mixed race people are the fastest growing ethnic minority group in Britain at the moment. And you hear a lot of people saying, well, mixed people have it best. A report came out not long ago saying that mixed race people are considered the most beautiful, and that within the fashion industry, the mixed race face is the one that you see instead of the black face. Does your work reflect that? Do mixed race people have it better?
I wouldn't know. I personally, I disagree that I don't think the mixed race people population have it better than any other race. And this is one thing that I feel really strongly about, that mixed race people aren't more beautiful, and that's not the message that we're sending. The message that we want to get across is that mixed race people are forced into these categories. So it's more about raising awareness of these type of issues, not about celebrating the beauty of mixed race, if you like.
And yet you've organised a contest exclusively for mixed race people. Why
Yes.
did you feel something like this was needed?
Well, through market research initially, we were looking at where mixed is and isn't present. So we'd done quite a lot of work in the education sector, as I say, through teacher training, etc. But we realised that it wasn't present in the fashion industry. So we decided to use something visible, such as fashion, such as catwalk, a model competition, to draw attention to something that's invisible, such as the issues surrounding mixed race people. And, it's not about the exclusion of those that aren't mixed race, but it's about the inclusion of a part of society that's often ignored or misunderstood or expected to choose, one part of their identity over another.
When we talk about mixed race people, I think for a lot of people what crops up into their mind is the idea of somebody who has one parent who's white and one parent who's African Caribbean. But of course, being mixed race can include a whole variety of people from different backgrounds. And in fact, we've had a caller call in and ask whether they'd be eligible to enter a mixed race contest where the caller's father is of an Irish descent and his mother is French but of Algerian descent. So for this contest, are you accepting anyone completely across the board as long as they happen to have a mixed race background?
Yes, exactly. We are not here to tell people you are mixed race and you are not mixed race. If you and yourself, you say you would classify yourself as mixed race, then just enter the competition. It's a fantastic cause. And I should say that the competition closes on the 1st of October. So if you get in an application before then, great, you have a chance of getting through. But what I would say in response to your question is that, excuse me, is that yes, it is just for mixed race people, and we do say that mixed race is a mix of races. There's a difference between mixed heritage and mixed race and mixed culture, but it's something that you feel in yourself. It's often a mixed experience that is more relevant than just classifying yourself as that word mixed race. So, if you are mixed race, if you're living in the UK, if you're between the ages of 16 and 24, then apply for this competition before the 1st of October and you'll be really contributing to, a positive cause.